eating now. Ice cream sounds great. No. Touch.
Hello, Rabbi.
Shalom Yaakov, how are you?
Good, Baruch Hashem.
Thank for helping us all out over here.
Oh yeah,
Valtic, how are you doing? What's new?
doing good, Baruch Hashem. Nothing really new. Just trying to keep myself busy with all of these shiurim.
Good. Oh, Hashem. Are you doing anything else on the side to make a few bucks?
Nope. Just trying to get money from the government.
I hear.
Yeah.
Is anything moving at all? I mean, is there any movement?
Right now, no. Give it another 2 weeks, hopefully.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
You think is Israel moving at all? Is there any movement?
Yeah, I think if anyone is gonna move, they're gonna be the first.
Yeah, I hear that.
Israel's they're all about the action.
They're all about making it happen. They are like, whatever. I didn't think there was a lot of reasons to move here before, but it's just like, you know, they've done a spectacular job. Well, do me a favor, just like a little bit of cereal or something. Just a little cereal or something. I'm so hungry. Oh. What? No, because I'm like a little milk, like the corn, the corn, the grain. Yeah. Shalom Yaakov, how are you? Other Yaakov.
Oh, Shalom, I didn't realize I wasn't muted. I hope I wasn't.
No. I'd like to hear from you. What's new?
Oh, what's new? What's new? That's a good question. Not too much, doing good, staying busy.
Busy with what?
I mean, I'm still working. I work remotely. So I pretty much have a similar day that I used to have. It's just everything is at home.
Right. So remind me what you're doing.
I work in software development for a company called BDO.
Okay. So that in theory can be done anywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. So think I'm pretty much doing the exact same work.
Who are your customers?
So I've had a lot of clients in the past. Right now I'm working for one client in particular, but I'm not able to say who it is, unfortunately.
Give me the lifeline that unfortunately what?
I can't say who my client is. There's an NDA on it. That's a non-disclosure.
Okay. Fine.
But yeah, thank you.
I always get impressed with people that like can't disclose their clients. Like it's so cool. Like no, it's cool. Guys, you're gonna have to apologize. We gotta eat. We're running around all day. It was very hectic. Past 48 hours, extremely whatever. We're trying to hopefully to work out. We're in the process of selling in Telston and buying in oh, the Gabbai. The Gabbai.
The Gabbai you do.
And buying in buying Yerushalayim. So it's just been extremely hectic.
How are you, Rabbi Charlop? I was just having soup myself. I'm hoping that's soup also. Make me feel close and connected.
No, I'm having cereal. It's too hot. It's like.
Oh, we have air conditioning in Florida.
Yeah, we don't believe in that. We don't have money. There's no electricity here. Yeah.
It happens.
Also, like, also that at a certain point, the mice have, worked with the union. At a certain point, they just like, they're on the treadmill and they just stop. So.
I don't know who Yaakov Fleischer is, but I love that background. Solid.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Yaakov, say hello to Barry.
What's going on, Barry?
I love that.
Going on, guys. 1998, before you guys started doing drugs.
Was I even born then? No.
It's so funny, like joining all these like years in the vein. Do you know my Rabbi Charlop, my brother-in-law's father? His name is Pink. Menachem Pink was in the Neve. It's like 1981.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. The guy's nearly a great-grandfather at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
It is.
Well, okay, we should probably get going. Sorry, I just was like hungry. Who do we
Who's
got over here?
The host hasn't joined.
Okay, but you're a working man. I can just lounge and eating food, but you're a working man, Barry, so I gotta get to work.
To be honest, to be fair, I'm gonna be working. I hope that's taken in the spirit it's intended.
I'll find out. Yeah. Salchi, Shalom, Salchi. Okay, let's get going. So you guys should have the sheets in front of you. He will set them out. And good. Now we can start. Howie's here. Howie's like the guy who's like got this whole thing, like gets the energy behind everything. He's into learning. Even though we never met, makes it happen anyway. Very nice. I really appreciate you guys coming and learning. In this piece that you got in the thing, I'm going to do it out of order. I want to do Gimel. If we get through Gimel, then we'll do Aleph. All right? Not that Aleph isn't great, Beis isn't great, but certain things that I felt like I want to focus on a little bit. So if you got today's sheet, which hopefully everybody got it?
No.
You hope. You got it or no?
No.
No? It was posted on the group.
Oh, yeah?
By the way, Rabbi Charlop, in the future, you and any of the other band giving a shiur, you can post the file in the Zoom every time it's there. Somebody could just download it from Zoom.
Oh, really?
I don't know if people want to do that. Yeah.
It should be done. Should be doable right now, no?
Let me see if I can do it. I'm not sure if I can do it from my phone. Let me see.
David, who posted it? Is this the one, Bechukotai, or was that?
Yeah. Bechukotai.
Yeah, I can actually do it if you want.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, fantastic.
Is it in the WhatsApp? It's in the WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, it's in the WhatsApp.
11.
By the Nesivos Shalom?
Yeah, you got. Yeah.
Oh.
You got it going over there?
So, document 89, Bechukotai?
Yeah,
Inyan habrachos v'akvalos, right?
exactly. Okay, great. We're together. Okay, now, even though it's got, I want to do the, if you go down to where it says, where there's a Gimel. All right, the big Gimel, it's the 4th page. It's not a long piece, but I wanted to do it instead of, well, if we get through Gimel, we'll get back to Aleph, right? I'll tell you, I wanted to just give like a little introduction. One of the things that's really been on my mind during this whole business. Okay, fantastic.
Oh, whoops, no, that's you don't want me to do that.
No, I don't want to take over, please. One of the things that has been on my mind a lot during this time period, based on a number of other things, is the concept of din in our world. And I can share some thoughts, but I wanted just to raise a certain sensitivity about the subject, even though it's not the kind of subject that we like to really focus on, but in a certain way, like it's kind of in many situations.
Good morning,
it's like,
Rabbi.
what's that?
Good morning. I didn't introduce myself when I walked in. Just wanted to say good morning.
Good morning, Sammy. Oh, I don't have the name. We should learn. Go ahead. What's the name, Sammy? Blanks out of me. Okay. No problem. Let's go back there. Anyway, so what I was going to say is that there's a certain reality that we as Jews have to live with. And it's a very big topic. And I don't want to like completely go past it because it's such a huge issue. Oh, Alex, nice. Shalom, Alex. Nice to have you around. Nice to have you on board. Anyway.
Okay, it's in the chat on the Zoom if anybody wants it. Don't call document 89. Just go to the chat.
Okay.
I'm in Costco. You need anything?
Rabbi, I'm posting the name. It's Ephraim Meir ben Yechiel Mordechai.
Okay, yeah, please. Thank you.
I was talking to myself. I was wondering why I wasn't going through.
Okay, fine. Great. All right. Anyway, so there's a certain aspect that we as Jews and as human beings have to deal with. It's not a topic that we spend a lot of time on because it really is not comfortable. It's not easy, but it's really the elephant in the room for many of us. Let us take this last period of this that has been extremely difficult for all of us, extremely. Lo Aleinu, some members of Neve have been affected directly. Family members, Lo Aleinu. And there's a certain aspect of din in this world that is not pleasant to deal with. On the other hand, to not address it to some degree, can we take that picture off of there? It's very geschmack, David, but if we could we get the Gehenna pictures off of the screen. David, you want to get that off of there? Hello, can we get that off? Yeah. Thank you so much. Can I get back on? Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, you're there. We could see you.
Okay, great.
If anybody's the host, they can make you the spotlight video.
Right. So there's a reality of the fact that Hashem means business. Many of us in the day have gone to Poland. Many of us, and now we don't have to be talking about Poland. We can talk about many of us live. I've lived through in very difficult time. So to address it is very hard, and to not address it is very hard. To speak about the din of Hashem and how Hashem really means business is hard because we look at Hashem as, he's our Abba, he's our Tati. On the other hand, to not look at the world and say, there's something really, Hashem's serious. He wants us to be doing something. And if we're not living up to that standard, he means he's not taking no for an answer. And if you look through Chumash, it's like that. We make a Egel Azah, we make a golden calf, and we have the Meraglim. And it happens to be that we're gonna be starting Sefer B'Midbar, it's Hashem, the week to come. And it's a sobering Sefer because you have to live with the fact that again and again we seem to fall short. So there's no question that Hashem expects great things from us, and it means we're supposed to live up to that. Of course, it's turned a lot of people away because of the harshness, but Hashem has decided that it's worth the risk of having to be too harsh, but he may get might not get, otherwise he won't get the job done. And as opposed to being lighter, and then, I'm sorry, if he's too harsh, but at least he'll get the job done, so to speak. He'll get to the place that he wants to get to, as opposed to being too soft, and then he may not get to where he wants to get to. Okay, so maybe we'll intertwine that. I have much more to say on the subject, but let's see if we can do the Siva Shalom, discuss some of these issues. Please, I'm open for all comments, discussions, etc. Okay, in Gimel it says as follows: Od yesh lefarish mashmozim b'chukos haytei leichu. It says when you go with my chukos, she'enot tzivoy al kiyam mitzvos. This is not a command. You don't go. There's no commandment to go, to walk. Kamash because of Rashi, dahainu shatia amelim b'torah, that you should be involved, anybody have a good word for a mailing, by the way? Involved, preoccupied, and put great effort.
Engrossed.
Engrossed. I want to tell you, I'm saying this now as a hashkafa to help get a clear hashkafa. I once heard from Rav Shimon Schwab that, again, I'm not saying I think that the picture has changed, but for a lot of modern Orthodox Jews, this is missing. This idea of a Melin B'Torah, I heard from Rav Shimon Schwab, it says he was saying that there's a large faction, a large part of modern Orthodoxy that doesn't feel that that this is like part of their life, that the Torah has to be a Melin B'Torah. And the Torah said, Bechukotai delechu, right? We have to be a Melin B'Torah. That's part of what a Jew is all about. So again, I don't want to get into politics, but I just thought for me it was a very helpful hashkafa to know that there are many lovely Jews, Shomer Shabbos, etc., but that this is not an essential part. Every Jew has to be a Melin B'Torah. There are different levels, but again, that it has to be that's part of who we are in this world. Anyway, in Yano, the idea of going in the Torah, working in the Torah, is like the Kli Yakar says, Shalom tzivei leilech b'chukosai. There's no mitzvah that it says you have to go in my laws. El hakavana b'zeh, shalom tzivei leilech b'chukosai. I'm sorry. El hakavana b'zeh al halicha b'derech haTorah. What does it mean to go in the Torah? So this is super important. The B'Torah Kadosha Yesh Shnei Chalokim. There's two aspects of Torah. Etzem HaMitzvahs Shenitztavinu Aleim Beferish. There are certain mitzvahs that we have to do. We have to put on tefillin, we have to put on tzitzis, we have to learn Torah, right? There are mitzvahs, there's specific mitzvahs. V'od Yesh Es Ruach HaDavarim. And then there's the spirit of the law, what's called the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. There's the spirit of what the Torah wants from us. Sheben toch haTorah roe Yehudi mahi ruach haTorah v'derech haTorah. The purpose of the Torah is not just to be doing the mitzvahs, it's to have a sense of, to smell, what does the Torah want from me? What does the Rabbi Charlop want from me? What's wanted over here? I'll tell you a great word that I heard, I think from Rabbi Frand, I'm not 100% sure. The Gemara says, let me just take a look and see. A couple of guys stepped in. Certain guys are going to like this though. It's going to, because this is like a David Feder board. So, but you guys, I think everybody will like it. The friend once, I'm pretty sure it's a friend I heard this from. He says that the Gemara says that Poshe Yisrael Malayim Mitzvahs Karima. Very famous statement. That even the negligent, the transgressors of Klal Yisrael, they're filled with mitzvahs like a rimo, like a pomegranate. So it doesn't seem so bad, right? But first of all, it doesn't seem like a terrible, like it doesn't sound like a bad thing at all. The simple pshat is they're like, even the worst of the Jews are filled with tons of mitzvahs. But I once heard an excellent, just a wonderful insight. What do you mean they're filled with mitzvahs like a rimon? Just like they're filled with mitzvahs. So I heard like this, a rimon, a pomegranate, is different than all other fruits. All other fruits, it's one apple, right? Maybe an orange is a little like this, that it's one section, like there's sections, but it's not a lot of sections. A rimon is like all these little dots of fruit, right? And they're not really connected into one unit, like an apple or a peach or a plum, whatever. So when the person is filled with mitzvahs like a rimon, the idea is that every mitzvah has been done, but it's separate. He did this mitzvah, he did this mitzvah, he did this, but it didn't come together like a unit that it affected him totally, so that now he become an apple. Like all of the fruit is now one thing. It's like, it's this little thing and this little thing and this, but it doesn't come together as one unit. That's what it means. They're filled with mitzvahs like a rimon. I don't know if that idea was clear in terms of what I'm, right? It's wonderful. They're filled with mitzvahs, but they don't change. They're just like little pockets of mitzvahs. Okay. I hope that was clear. If not, what's that? Yaakov, you got that?
Yeah.
So that's a nice word, no?
Very.
Yeah, so I think anyway. So says the Nesivos Shalom, there's the letter. There's a letter of the Lord, what the Torah wants from us, and then there's what the Torah wants us to feel in between the words, in between the not in between. Umitok kach hu oseh o nimna mi asos gam devarim she'enim ksuvim beferish b'Torah. And therefore he does things, or he holds back from doing things that are not really written in the Torah, right? It's not necessary. Could be not, but it's free. But so it's not because he has to do it, right? There are certain sensitivities that Jews have. We don't have to do certain things, right? It's not a question of, or we shouldn't do certain things. I'll tell you one of my favorite stories. Now, let me do the end of the paragraph. I'm kind of like in a little bit of schmoozy mood, especially since it was like whenever there's like a crazy time going on, I get like more schmoozy. Okay. So it says like this. Shabby, did we muting? Yeah, Yaakov, just if you can mute yourself, I'd appreciate it. So it says, the idea is you're not going and doing the mitzvah. I'm going now to shul. I'm going now to the we're going in the Torah. What does the Torah want? Is this the path the Torah wants me to go on? Is this the road I should be traveling? In I'll tell you the story. Let me pause. It's a very nice story and it fits in very well over here. There's a famous story. I love telling it. Maybe you guys remember. It's been so many years, you probably wouldn't remember the stories that I told. This is a story that's like one of my favorites, so I tell it. There was two great Rebbes. There was the Trisker Rebbe and the Trisker and the Trisk and Varka, the Varka Rebbe. The Trisker Rebbe and the Varka Rebbe were two great Hasidic masters from the early Hasidim, masters. And they had a minhag on Erev Shabbos. They lived relatively close to each other. And they used to send messages back and forth to each other on Erev Shabbos. So Trisker Rebbe would write a letter. He'd send it to the Varka would send a response. And this went on every week. And there was a gabbai that was in charge of passing the letters back and forth. He brought the letter. He took the letter back. After a few years of doing this, he got very curious. And he knew he shouldn't do this, but he couldn't help himself back from opening up the letter. He was so curious. He was burning in, what could they be writing about? So he's traveling from his Rebbe, and he goes off the side of the road, finds a place that nobody could see him, and he knows he shouldn't do it, but he's burning with curiosity. And he, you know something? So I want to make a pause. Do me a favor. How do I get to see everybody? Someone told me how to do this, but I don't know how to do it. Because I can't see everything. Oh, I see. I got it. There we go. Okay, I got it. Sorry, thanks. So he opens up the letter and he sees the letter and it's blank. It's blank. The letter is blank. And he's like stunned. Like on one hand, he feels so embarrassed. On the other hand, he's stunned, like there's nothing in this letter. It's blank. So he puts back the letter and he seals it. He obviously figured out a way to seal it. And he gives it from the Triska and he gives it to the Varka. He gets the letter back from the Varka Rebbe and he's going back down to deliver it to the Triska Rebbe. And he's just burning with curiosity. Pulls off the side of the road again, makes sure nobody can see him, opens up the envelope. It's empty. It's empty. The envelope's empty. He doesn't know what to do. He gives the letter, but he doesn't say anything. He's too embarrassed. Next week, the same thing. Brings the letter, opens the letter, nothing there. Brings it back, opens the letter, there's nothing there. After a few weeks, he can't hold himself back. Firstly, he's way too guilty, and he's way too curious. He goes to the Rebbe and he says, Rebbe, I have to apologize. I know I shouldn't have done this, but I was so curious. I really wanted to know. What you and you and the other Rebbe were communicating with. But I don't understand. There was nothing on the letter. It was white. It's blank. So the Rebbe obviously didn't scold him. He told him, I'll explain to you. And this, I'm telling you this story because I think it fits into the little piece that we've done so far. He said, when the Torah was given, the Chazal tells us it was given Eish Chora al Eish Levan. It was given a black fire on a white fire. The black fire is what it says. The white fire is what it doesn't say. The black fire is like the din. It's like the parameters. It's the actual things that you need to do. The white fire is the love behind the relationship. So when we have a Sefer Torah, there's a white ink, it is black ink, and then there's a white behind it because the white is like the context of the love that Hashem has for Klal Yisrael, which is behind everything. He says, when we used to write, the Trisker and the Barka, the Trisker told him, he said, when we used to write words. And that for many was the blank ink. And it was what we were saying. And we needed to say all these words. And at a certain point, we understood each other so well, and we felt so connected. We didn't need to write any words anymore. Just the blank paper that somehow we understood because we were so connected that message was beyond words. So even though you didn't see the message, there was a message there, but it's much deeper and much higher than words. That's the story of the two Rebbes. And I think it fits in over here in the sense that there's the letter of the law, and then there's the spirit of the law. There's what the Baal Shem wants from us, and there's what the Baal Shem says that we should do. So whether or not is put on tefillin, tzitzis, it's all a way of getting close to Hashem. And sometimes we lose focus on that. I think for myself during this time period, I've had a little bit more time to focus on that. But the idea is to focus on the relationship between us and Hashem. Yiddishkeit can sometimes take us away from that. Not the chashlom, it should. But sometimes Yiddishkeit, we get lost in the letter of the law and we lose the spirit. Now, that doesn't mean that we lose the letter one iota. Rabbi Nachman says, he said you can make all the commentaries on the Chumash that you want, but you can't change the halacha one tiny bit, right? So even though you can dig and delve, and that's a certain misunderstanding, I think, in certain types of approaches to Yiddishkeit, that it's all about the feeling, and that's not true. The feeling is essential, but we have to have the letter of the law, but the spirit of the law. So here we're talking about now the spirit of the law, to have us focus on the Bechukotai Teleichu. Okay, 6 lines up. V'loshen alichuhu be'ikar, 5 lines up, sorry. V'loshen alichu be'ikar inyani alichas olam. The idea is to go in the world. Hainu inyani megashmin. The physical thing, she'adam osik behem. She'yu al derech tiksiv, it said in the pasuk, helichas olam lo. The going of the way should be for him. Hainu lishmo yizbarach, meaning when we do things, we should realize we're traveling. And we're traveling, and the question is, how are we going to travel? Are we traveling with Hashem? Or are we traveling with Hashem, without Hashem? Like the Gemara says, famous word of the Baal Shem Tov, that it's better to learn Torah 101 times more than 100 times. 101 is much different and much greater than 100 times. So the Baal Shem used to say that if you learn something Torah 100 times, it's different than 101. Who's the one? One is Hashem. You're learning 100 times and you bring the one with you, bring Hashem with you, right? So that's the context that we're supposed to have. That's the context of what we're doing when we're walking this world. Wherever you walk, you're walking with Hashem. That's what the Torah wants. It's in order to be connected to Hashem. Everything is for kavod of the Baal Shem. And he created, whatever he created for a purpose. As my Rebbe, Israel Talvi, used to say, the Baal Shem doesn't make, I'll tell you what he used to say. He used to say, what's the difference between drinking wine in a beautiful goblet and drinking wine in a paper cup? Right? One, it's the same wine. You can say it tastes a little bit different. But one is the experience, right? One is he said, he used to tell us that the Hashem doesn't make paper cup worlds. Hashem doesn't make things paper cups. Everything over here, even if we're not going to use, not even if it's not, our purpose in terms of like it's physical, but everything can be used for Torah. Again, we have to have the wacha, but that's the purpose, that everything is used. So we have this ability to use it. Well, Derek should be on the Rabbi Nechunya ben Akana. He said like this, famous Maimer, Kola Makabal Allah Ol Torah. If you Makabal Torah on yourself, they take off the yoke of Parnasa and dealing with the government. In Yonder Shemekabal Alatmo as Ruach Torah, she Techaben Kola Lichosa. The idea is he's taking and he has intention that wherever he goes, that he's going with Hashem. All right, so this is very good, but I'm sure you guys have all heard this, but it definitely deserves repeating. In Judaism, there's 3 categories. There's mitzvah, there's isser, and there's reshus. Right? There's the things we have to do. Again, we still have free choice. We have to. The Bible said you have to put on tefillin. I'm not asking you, right? The Bible said you cannot eat non-kosher meat. I'm not asking you. Again, everybody has free choice. But whether you have lunch today, whether you have hot dogs for lunch, or whether you have a grilled cheese sandwich, doesn't say in the Torah, right? Whether you're going to wear blue jeans, or you want to wear black pants, doesn't say in the Torah. You're going to wear a hat? Okay, there's Mishnah Berurah, but let's assume, right? It's not necessarily a halacha. If you want, you want. You don't want, you want. You want to buy this kind of car, that kind of car. That's called reshus. In general, in this world, most of the things we deal with day to day, in the course of the day, are reshus. They're optional, right? They're not mitzvahs. The mitzvahs we take care of pretty quickly. We do our davening 3 times a day. We eat, make brachas. The eating itself is optional, how much we eat and what we want to eat, right? And then we work. But everything else, but what we do with it, that's what makes this world. So that's really what we're doing, is taking reshus and turning it into mitzvah, or Chas Shalom goes the other way. You see this chaptis? That's what Rashi tells, that you should be involved in Torah. What does that mean? I have to sit and learn Gemara. Rashi tells us, Rashba, Ritva. The idea is, no. It's the way that a Jew goes. Everything that he does should be l'shem shemayim. That's what it means, amelin b'Torah. What does it mean to be amelin b'Torah? Does it mean to be, for those of us that we were in the yeshiva, whoever we saw, the gedolim, whatever, and other people we're involved with now, they're like mamish, they're in Torah. They're like completely. That's no question. That's part of amelin b'Torah. But amelin b'Torah means it's a business. I'm involved. I'm thinking about it. I'm involved, and I use my opportunities in this world to be connecting to Hashem. That's what it means to go in with the Torah. He rak mikoach ha'amul b'Torah. Unless a person spends time thinking about it and making it his business of how to relate to Torah, it doesn't happen. It means, we said before, a little bit again, I'm not pointing at any particular camp. Torah can be flat, and we all know it. Torah can be superficial, and we all know it, right? Whether or not we make our Torah a quality Torah means whether or not we are focusing on the relationship between us and Hashem. Most of you, I don't think, are back to davening with a minyan. As far as I understand, most people in Chutzlars are not back to davening with minyanim. Over here, many of us are back with davening minyanim. I was davening alone for a while, and Baruch Hashem, there are certain minyanim that I've been able to daven with. But the idea of connecting to Hashem on alone when you're sitting at home is different than when you're having with 10 men, and there's like going around and moving and this and that. There's a certain amount, and the purpose is to connect to Hashem. And in a world which unfortunately can be a little superficial, it's not easy sometimes to do it. That's what it means to go in Hashem. Kukamayim Rizal, al-Aposik, al-Meh of the Aretz. The Gemara says, famous Gemara in Nadarim. What was the reason that Eretz Yisrael was destroyed? Why did they destroy the base of English? Again, we know the Gemara in Yuma that because of Shvichus Damim, Gili Rice, as a Vodazor, Gili Rice, Shvichus Damim was the first bias. Second bias was for Lashon Hara, but the Gemara has a different take on it. The Gemara in Nadarim has a different take. The Gemara says in Nadarim Fast in Gemara that says that the angels, the Chacham were asked, the Nevi'im were asked, the Malachim were asked, below Pirshu. They didn't have a pshat to it. Anshe Pirshu Kodesh Baruch Hu. But Hashem gave an answer. Tiksiva Yom Hashem al Ozam es Torasi. They left my Torah. Below Sham B'Koli. Below Holchuba. They didn't go in the Torah. Shagam Kan Nizko Lashon Alicha. The pshat is they didn't go in the Torah. Doesn't mean they didn't keep the mitzvahs. Doesn't mean they weren't from Yidden. They didn't go in the Torah. And we all know that feeling. We all know the feeling of a person who's keeping mitzvahs, and we feel like, that's what it looks like. And it doesn't have to be the frumest Talmid Chacham. It can be what we call what we call an Amalash, an Ehrlich Yid, a Pashut Yid, an Ehrlich Yid. He does things the way he could do it and the way he should do it. It's not fancy, and he may not be a big Talmid Chacham, right? But the idea is that there's something that he does that he's going. Right? He's walking in the Torah, right? That's when he's walking. Again, there's other people that when they walk, with the tzaddikim also walk, but that's not the word. We're talking about a person who's involved. So when he does something, like it's just part of where he's going, right? And there's a certain geschmack to it, like there's a certain enjoyment to keeping Torah and to like he's walking with Hashem. Anyway, that's what it says over here. Sorry. Licha ve'inyaner kamosha pirushu ha'meforshim ha'ozan es torasi. It Maisa they left over the Torah. Hainu shelo amlu b'Torah. They weren't involved in the Torah. V'mitol kach lo shamu b'koli. They weren't listening to me. Lo holchu ba. So that's a wonderful thing that each one of us can say, Rabosai. All of us can say, I wonder what the Baruch wants from me, right? I wonder what he wants. That's on a minimal level. It says Rabbi Nachman used to say that he used to start the day and he said, Rabbi Shalom, all the movements I do today, all the sayings I do, all my words, I want you to decide what they should be. Kilo, I want you to take away my bechira. Maybe it's a level of a tzaddikim, but the idea is that I want my words to be in keeping with what you want. I want my speaking to be what you want. I want my eating to be with what you want, right? I want to be doing this like with meaning. I want to be doing this not just because I have to, not because I don't want to be a scharba onish yid. Again, that's an important thing to know for also, but that's not where I want to be. Shemitok shelo yisyagu b'Torah v'lo holchu b'derech Torah. The point was the Navi said they weren't involved. It wasn't important to them. Only if they're mamish involved in Torah. That means if a person is really involved, whatever you do, you drive to work. I don't know if anybody over here drives quickly. I don't know. A lot of guys like to drive quickly, including myself. Right? I don't know if anybody has that taiva. I have a big taiva. I used to be, some of you guys know, I used to be a taxi driver in the city of New York. And I like driving. It's one of my Michigan, my Michigas. I like to drive. Halavai for many good years. And I drive sometimes a little bit frisky, right? I get a little bit, it gets a little bit funny on the slopes. But somewhat recently, I've been kind of like, is this where I should be driving? Like, does Hashem have nachas? If I had a gadol sitting with me in the house, in the car, would I drive like this? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes Yaakov is shaking his head. It was like, no, I wouldn't do that, right? So I have Hashem. He's like sitting in the next seat. Lahavdil. He's like sitting over here. So it's like, Hashem, how would you want me to drive? Again, I can't go crazy, but everybody has to do some drag racing every now and again. Barry down there in Florida, they go fast. That's a different thing. But some, the best Neve story I ever heard was a guy. It's not great. Like I shouldn't tell these kind of stories. He did 120 in the 30 zone. That was like the best that one of our friends in Baltimore. Yeah, not bad. How Barry? That's not bad. V'zeu pirish im b'chukotai teva. I shouldn't encourage this with you guys. You're already, I'm actually going to be on my case. V'zeu pirish im b'chukotai teva. She'im kol alichas ha'olam yu b'ruach chukotai. If you think there's a spirit over here, there's a message over here. B'ruach haTorah. Al yadesh you amelim b'Torah, because we're going to be involved in Torah. As v'nasati gishmeichem v'itam. Then I'll give the reins. Kamayver Baran Tabagadisha Milakovich. Right? We've had them before from the early Slonim Rebbeim. Schuz Yogan Ladenu. Sheritzo no Seichem Hagashmiyim Lo Yisaru Rak Be'itam. Oh, Geshmak! Wow. He says the rain, which means your desire for Ruknias, for Gashmias, it'll be at the right time. You hear this pshat? Any Chassidish Yidden out there? This is a nice Chassidish pshat. Barry's completely. This is a nice Chassidish pshat. Howie is also Chassidish Yid. I can tell that. But the Lamaisa, this is a Geshmak. This is a nice Geshmak pshat. It says v'nasadi gishmeichem be'itam. Simple pshat is, I'll give you the gashmi. I'll give the rain in its right time. Says the Lekovich. No, deeper. Said that. I'll give you a rain, which means the not the rain, it means not Gashmias. The rain, it means Gashmias. I'll give you the desire for Gashmias in the right time. I mean, you want to have a good meal, but not all the time. You want to have relations, not all the time. It'll be in the right time, right? I'll give you rain here, not the Gashem, but Gashmias. I'll give the Gashmias means the desire to have Gashmias and be connected to Gashmias in the right time. It means you'll get to enjoy it, but it won't make you crazy. Right? Halavai. Wow. Now that's a great bracha, huh? Well, Gashmias makes us wacky. It's kashmak, but it makes us wacky. Especially we're entering now the 6th week. We're going to Yesod. Yesod is a big tikkun, with Yosef and Yesod and Shmiras Abris. Maisa, this is a beautiful bracha to have. Like it should be be'itam. Enjoy it, but it be'itam at the right time. Be'ez Hashem zeh rotzen Hashem with the time the Baruch wants. Kasher ein zeh rotzen Hashem lo tisavu l'zeh klal b'chlal. And when it's not the right time, you won't want it. Im kol lichas olam olamo hu rak lasos nachas ruach l'Hashem yisbarach. To do nachas ruach, I know Barry hums this to himself. Lasos nachas ruach. That's what we want. Nachas ruach. Azai mida keneged mida zochel geshmeichem be'itam. You get the rain and the gashmi is in the right time. Kasher ein zeh rotzen Hashem yisbarach. When it is not the Ratzon Hashem, ein Ratzon L'Isara. You won't really want it. Kamosha Omer Harav Kodesh Rav Mendel Vitebsk, Rav Menachem Mendel Vitebsk, buried in Tveri over here. Schuz Yogan Leinu Lo Anoshev Ve'Eisha Hayu Pam Rav Gadol. There was a big famine over there. Atem is anim kol hayom. You're fasting all day. Ki kol hayom atem choshvim ala ochel. Achazu lechem. You're fasting all day, but you're thinking all the time about your food. Ani any misana el be'esit tzarich lechol ve'eno ochel. I'm only fasting. I'm misana again. I haven't gone through tough times. The time shetzarich lechol ve'eno ochel, that at the time that I need to eat and I'm not eating. I'm not thinking about food all day. The time that I want to eat. So then I would at that time that I'm thinking, wow, I'm really hungry. But you're thinking about food all day. Shemilvad shazu. Besides that time that I would have been eating, I'm not thinking about food. This is the Gashmi is in the right time. But that's not a reward for a mitzvah. Because in this world you don't have it. He loys at a very high level. When you go into the Ruach HaTorah, Baruch says, okay, you want to go with me? I'll make it easier. That's the idea. Mrs. Charlop, it's Yitzchak. We missed the call. Sorry, gentlemen. Anyway, that's the idea. So today's idea was Bechukotai Telechu, right? It means to go in the Torah. It doesn't mean to fill for the Torah. It means to listen to the Torah. It is to smell. What does the Torah want from us, right? That's what's really going on in terms of what the Baruch wants from us, and that we can do. Every single Jew can do that. Right? But that makes the difference. That's the shift between life being what I have to do and what I want to do. It means the difference between Baruch telling me this is like I'm on your head and feeling like, let's walk together. Let's do this together. Let me walk with you. And a big brachas that come out of that. Anyway, that's the piece. Is any questions? Want to schmooze? Any questions in general?
Oh yeah, maybe.
All right.
Oh,
Gentlemen, I usually kind of like let it go and schmooze a little bit. Today, it's been a
Beautiful,
little,
Charlop. Thank you.
it's been a little hectic, so I'm going to, yeah. But Rabosa, I want to tell you, I really appreciate this, and I'm hoping that we're enjoying it.
We do this
Yeah.
even when there's no corona, or does it have to be based in corona? Like after which state opens up, do we stop the Zoom shiurim?
Hawaii.
Why?
We need it.
No, whatever. No. We got, but Mr. Shah, by the time we finish this thing, I want everybody over here.
Oh, amen. But what if that doesn't happen? I think we still need the Zoom share going.
Okay. No. Okay. We'll do it.
Make it happen.
It's a shame. Yeah, it's okay. Rabosa, again, I'm sorry. I normally I like what's
Great
sticking up,
Shabbos.
but it's been a little bit hectic. Okay. Shabbos, Yaakov, thank you for helping out. If anybody wants to be in touch with me anyway, feel free. Have a great Shabbos.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have a good Shabbos.
Okay.
Shabbos, Rebbe.
Shabbos,
Thanks.
Shabbos.
It's fire.
Good Shabbos, Rebbe. All right. Yaakov Fleischer, again, thanks again for arranging. The best.
Pleasure, my pleasure. Enjoy.